Australia had never had a more popular Prime Minister, and there hasn't been one since. At one stage, opinion polls found 3/4 of Australians approved of how Bob Hawke was leading the country. He took the left-leaning Labour Party to 4 election wins. His first, in 1983, was his party's biggest victory. Hawke embodied qualities Australians like to see in themselves. He was down to earth, seen as having a great sense of humour and a sense of fairness. He could also drink. A plaque at Oxford University commemorates the day the future Prime Minister set a world speed record for drinking almost 1.5 litres of beer. It was a reputation he played to in his later years. A former trade union leader, Bob Hawke served 4 terms as Prime Minister and was considered a reformer. He floated the Australian dollar and engaged in the privatisation of state assets while managing to keep the trade unions on side. His government introduced a universal public health service and environmental protections for the Great Barrier Reef and forests in Tasmania. He handed back management of Uluru, then widely known as Ayers Rock, to local Aboriginal people. Hawke also deepened Australia's relationship with China and strengthened ties with other Asian countries. Australia hosted the first ever Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC, meeting when Hawke was Prime Minister in 1989. But for many Australians, it was a different international engagement for which he will be best remembered. He revelled in Australia's 1983 America's Cup yacht race win, cementing his place as a Prime Minister of the working man and woman by announcing, in effect, a spontaneous national holiday.
I tell you what, any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up today is a bum.
With Finance Minister Paul Keating, Hawke took Labour's reformist agenda into the 1990s. But the relationship turned sour. Keating challenged Hawke for the top job and won. Keating was to win one more election victory, Labour's 5th in a row, giving the party its longest run in government to date. Bob Hawke divorced his wife of almost 40 years in 1995 and married his biographer months later.
Thank you.
He's survived by her and his 4 children.